the breaking news of the appointment of a new AARO director. This is the Pentagon's UFO UAP Investigation Office, AARO, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, and the interim director since October 2023, since Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick departed, has been Tim Phillips. And he's now been announced by the Defence Department to be being replaced by a Dr. John T. Kosloski, who's come to us from the National Security Agency. And I have to say, Dr. John Kosloski is extremely well spoken of by people I respect and admire in the UAP field. People say he's very, very genuine about bringing a new approach to AARO. Not that he's hypercritical of his predecessors, but that he does want to try and restore public confidence in AARO after, frankly, what has been months of turmoil. One of the first tests of Dr. John T. Kosloski, of course, is going to be whether he retains Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick in the rather unusual role he's had as a kind of semi-consultant to AARO, where he's been commenting in his role as a former director of AARO and being given, I think, undue emphasis, I think, because of his past role as a director of AARO. So it'll be very, very interesting to see whether Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick is kept on in that role by Kosloski. But what I can tell you about Kosloski is he's pretty impressive. He comes from the NSA, which is, of course, one of America's premier spy agencies. He's been involved in what sounds like incomprehensibly complicated research, leading mission-oriented research in the fields of networking and computing. He's a subject matter expert in the area of free space optics, whatever that is, advising various DoD agencies. In addition to his optics research and crypto mathematics, Dr. Kosloski invented an advanced language-agnostic search engine and served at the DoD Special Communications Enterprise Office. I have no idea what that means. I took a peek earlier at 2 patents that Dr. Kosloski has patented and found them so incomprehensible I'm not even going to try and tell you what they are. He's got a bachelor's degree in mathematics and physics from California State University, San Bernardino, and a PhD in electrical engineering from Johns Hopkins University. And just to give you a summary of his work, the focus of his doctoral research was the invention of novel devices that leverage principles from quantum optics to receive very weak phase-encoded signals. Clear as mud. Well, what I can tell you that does make sense is Kosloski is very well spoken of by people who want change and want a greater degree of transparency and openness by the Pentagon. And frankly, whilst I'm not a huge fan of AARO and I've been very critical of AARO, I think this is potentially a very positive move. And it's going to, I think, be incumbent on all of us to give Dr. Kosloski a chance. Let's show him good faith and let's see how he moves.
Oh, okay.
Jack.
Oh, look at that.
I know.
Look at that.
Jack Sarfetti in my house.
Yeah.
Hi, Jack. You're very
So
welcome.
when little green men travel
Thank
from
you,
a distant planet to Earth, how did they get here?
Well, first of all, I don't think our little green men are coming from a distant planet. They're coming from a future Earth because it's time travel. The universe, however, is vast, and there are little green men or purple men or God knows what on other planets and other star systems, that's for sure, and they can all get here by warp drive. But I think the ones that we're in contact with, at least the ones that I was in contact with in 1953, are future descendants of ours from the future, actually artificial intelligences.
They're humans.
Well, humans may have made them, but the one that I had direct contact with said it was a conscious artificial intelligence, part of like a Tic Tac flying saucer craft. So the point.
Why has it come back to this our age?
Well, one thing maybe.
Doesn't that break the whole continuity of time?
Absolutely, you got it just oppositely wrong. That's called the Novikov self-consistency principle.
Right.
And the point is, they are back here in order for them to exist in what Igor Novikov, who's a physicist in Moscow, he may not be alive now, worked with Kip Thorne.
Right.
Kip Thorne, Interstellar, he's talking about these time loops, the same thing I'm talking about, is the basic plot of Interstellar. And the point is, they came back so that I and others I work with can create them in a self-consistent loop in time. And things happen in the present, not only because of things that have happened already in the past, but because of things that will happen in the future. And that is basically what quantum entanglement is all about, according to the interpretation of Yakir Aharonov, who worked with David Bohm and Lenny Susskind, people like that. And in fact, for this back from the future, what's called weak measurement two-state vector quantum theory, President Obama, when he was president, actually gave a medal to Yakir Aharonov for this back from the future theory, which I also independently got, but it's not quite the same mathematical formalism that Yakir Aharonov got.
Right.
But we were all part of the same mix of ideas.
Right. So why would they come back for? They need to make sure that the past happened.
Well, they wouldn't exist. It's all what's called the self-consistent loop in time. Right. It's kind of like Terminator, but Terminator,
right?
Except that instead of killing us, they want to help us. The other reason they may be back is that because we know from Rendlesham, that they neutralize nuclear weapons.
Right.
Hopefully, our visitors from the future, who I'm going to help create with other physicists,
right.
Hopefully they have neutralized all our nuclear weapons so that we cannot destroy ourselves as what seems to be possible because of what's happening in the Ukraine with the war with Russia. And where...
Do you think there's possibly multiple future paths? And they need to, or wouldn't they know that they need to come back because they know what they did worked.
Prevents, hopefully, yeah. If the best case scenario, there's only one unique, I'm not talking about many worlds now, that's another possibility.
Right.
Everything I'm saying can be wrong.
Right.
Because if it's good physics, it's got to be what's called Popper falsifiable. Mm-hmm. So right now I'm giving one particular narrative, which is an optimistic narrative, that even though things look pretty bad right now,
right.
It may turn out to be okay, because even if we try to have a nuclear war, the nukes won't go off.
Right.
That's the best case scenario. On the other hand, I may be totally wrong, and we may all be dead in a few months.
Right, and maybe the people from the future are there because we are dead. We don't know.
No, that wouldn't make it. That'd be illogical.
Right.
That's illogical.
Right.
If they are from the future, then we survive because we created them. They told me in 1953 that I'm their creator.
Right.
Okay. So hopefully that's why I guess we should be sort of optimistic.
Right.